Profits over people. Exposing the elite's war on immigrants and workers in a nation built on promises of liberty and justice, a silent war rages against immigrants and workers, waged by elites on both sides of the political spectrum. From Melania Trump to Vivek Ramaswamy, Elon Musk, and Democratic leaders, the message is clear: exploitation and division serve their interests. As Republicans and Democrats blame each other, their shared inaction exposes a grim truth: a class war targeting the vulnerable for profit. Democrats. Silence in the face of injustice. Democrats often claim to champion progress and equality, yet their actions betray these values. Representative Pramila Jayapal, a self-styled advocate for immigrant rights, ignored calls to support the American Families United Act for years. It took a Texas Republican to reintroduce the bill before she finally spoke up. Senators Maria Cantwell and Patty Murray also ignored repeated pleas for help, refusing to champion this critical legislation that protects U.S. citizens from unjust immigration policies. Representative Rick Larson and other Washington state Democrats were similarly silent, neglecting workers' rights and immigrant protections for nearly a decade. Adding to this betrayal, some Democrats now support border walls and the Laken Riley Act. This bill, co-sponsored by Senator John Fetterman, whose wife's immigrant story should make him an ally, mandates detention without bond for undocumented migrants accused of minor offenses. Their silence on the American Families United Act, a bill that prioritizes U.S. citizens and family unity, underscores their complicity. If Democrats genuinely cared about American families, they would champion this act with urgency. Republicans, division and profit Republicans, wield anti-immigrant rhetoric to distract from their exploitation of labor. The Laken Riley Act, a draconian measure criminalizing minor offenses to justify indefinite detention, exemplifies this agenda. Figures like Donald Trump and Elon Musk profit from immigrant labor while supporting policies that strip away protections. Their hypocrisy is glaring. They demonize the very people who underpin the economy while ensuring profits flow to the elite. The Laken Riley Act versus the American Families United Act. The contrast between these two bills reveals the priorities of our leaders. The Laken Riley Act fuels private prisons and codifies systemic racism, creating a profit-driven system that undermines basic rights. In contrast, the American Families United Act addresses the injustices faced by U.S. citizens whose families are torn apart by immigration laws. This act prioritizes justice and human dignity, yet remains ignored by both parties. The elite's war on labor and immigrants. Elites across the spectrum profit from oppression. Private detention centers thrive on bipartisan policies, criminalizing migration and poverty. Meanwhile, laborers, both documented and undocumented, endure exploitation without basic protections. This war isn't just on immigrants. It's a war on all working people. The silence from leaders who claim to stand for justice, including Councilmember Kshama Sawant, is deafening. A call to action: we must reject this false divide of left versus right and focus on the real enemy, a system that values profit over people. Human rights are non-negotiable. The fight for immigrant rights is inseparable from the fight for workers' rights. Leaders from all parties must end their cowardice. Silence is complicity. The time to act is now. Workers and immigrants deserve dignity, protection, and equality, not exploitation and betrayal.